We should be good to go. And here we are. All right. Well, hey, welcome, everybody, to the Next Level Marketing Call. The reason why you're here, if you're here on live, by the way, give us a big wave or put a 5 in the comments. I love our live crew. Live's where it's at, so I see you guys. And if you're watching on replay, let us know as well, too. This is going to be one that you're going to need to share. All right, just right away. Because the question that we're asking is, do you want to be financially free, and how do you do it? Right? Put a me in the comments below if you would love the idea of financial freedom. And this is one of those questions that, if you're anything like me, school never taught me to ask. School asked me, what do you want to study? Not what do you want? And there's a big difference of income in those questions. And it wasn't until I got a chance to meet people like Dr. Pia Washington, and I'm honored to have her on here with you guys today. You're going to want to take notes because she is a wealth and finance guru. She has helped people invest for a living. She's an investor herself, knows everything about money. She is one of the few people that loves numbers, and we love people that love numbers, because if you're friends with them, you're going to make more money and keep more money as well, too. So I'm going to start with asking Pia some questions. And after that, we'll talk about how you, too, can achieve financial freedom as well, too. But if you're ready for today, put a 100 in the comments. It's going to be a fun time. But Dr. Pia Washington, welcome to the stage.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
It's an absolute honor. So, Pia, for those of us that don't know your professional background, what were you doing?
I spent about 3 decades doing financial planning, analysis, and wealth building for other people. A career in corporate finance. I led a team of financial analysts who basically did financial planning for a specific group of people, which were real estate investors and other entrepreneurs. And as a part of that, then I also was the vice president of financial training for our investment arm. So I would also teach other people how to invest their money as well. So planning and investing and teaching and the whole bit.
Wow. So knows a lot about money. Okay. Now I want to ask the audience this. Who here did not receive much financial education growing up? Put a 1 in the comments if that's you. Or maybe some of you were more on the fortunate side, and you did put a 2 if you actually received some good financial education. So even before we talk about solutions, like, I want to pick your mind on, like, what is financial freedom? When we say financial freedom, what does that mean to you? How do you define that?
Well, that's a great question because it's different for everyone, really, as you see in the chat, right? Like, my idea of financial freedom being completely, debt free, but also having the time freedom and enough money to do all the things that I want to do, right? So there's that level of financial independence, is the better word that I like to use. Whereas for other people, it might just be, you know what, I just need enough to cover my bills. Yeah, someone said time and debt free, right? Angela Ice, time and debt free. So it really depends on the individual. But I think that a lot of times we don't think about it because the honest truth of it is a lot of Americans can't see paycheck to paycheck. So they don't allow themselves to even think about financial freedom and independence.
That's huge. And I want to challenge every single one of us here, regardless where you're financially. Maybe you're already independently wealthy, or maybe you're on the complete opposite side, like what Pia said, where I was before. I was drowning in debt at a time. I remember I was $12,000 a month in credit card debt, not seeing a way out. So it was really hard for me to dream. But it was until someone like you told me, just dream again. Allow your mind to go there on what that looks like. So Pia, we both went through a lot of education, and what I realized is I was taught a plan that actually most people that are wealthy and financially free and independent don't actually do. So what would you say most people believe the path is to financial freedom? Oh, we'll start there. What do most people think that path is?
Yeah, I think most people think that you go to college, you get a good job, and you're going to work your way to financial freedom, right? Like, I really do believe a lot of people were sold this plan that if you get good grades and you get a good education and you become a lawyer or a doctor and you become a good employee or even a self employed individual, right? Then you're going to be wealthy.
Mm.
But as we both know, that's the W-2 employee and the self-employed solopreneurs. They're actually on the wrong side of things, right? But I think most people really believe that they're going to work their way to wealth,
Mm.
and that they're going to, have this great career and maybe they're making six figures, or maybe they're a plastic surgeon, right? Maybe they're making seven figures. But what a good friend told me once is that those people are just broke at a higher level, right? they have a big income, but they've got a big mortgage. They've got, big car payments. They've got big, responsibilities and, fancy, lifestyle that they have to, take up for. They don't have residual income. They don't have beach money. They don't have money that comes in when they're not working.
Okay. So basically, I want everyone to assess this and put yourself in this framework, because who here actually would actually truly love financial freedom? Put freedom in the chat below. Like, that's what you want, right? And freedom could be 500 a month so that you don't have to worry about bills anymore, right? Freedom could be 5,000 a month, 50,000 a month. Doesn't matter, right? To each their own. But if that's what you want, then I when I take notes on what Pia's saying, I'm like, all right, am I doing what she's doing? Am I not? So what you're saying is, if you are doing something where you're trading time for money, that's probably not going to lead to freedom. Is that the case?
That is the case. In
Okay.
fact, W-2 employees actually end up paying more money in taxes than they pay for their food, their housing, their transportation, and everything for their whole entire lives. Like, they will pay more in taxes than they pay for their living expenses. That's what it means to be a W-2 employee. Like, and the more money you make, right, the more you're taxed until you get to the point where you're on the other side of the tax. So there's two tax structures, right, in our country. There's the ones for the workers, the W-2s, right, where you take away, and then there's one where you build wealth, and that's for the business owners and the investors. So some people say, well, that doesn't seem fair. No, well, it doesn't, but we all have access to both sides of the equation. It's just which one you choose to be on. So
Wow.
yeah, when you think about that as a W-2 employee, that you're going to be paying out more in taxes than you are for your food, your housing, your transportation, and your living expenses over your lifetime, that's a huge amount.
Oh my gosh. Wow. All right. Well, who here would love to not just make more money, but pay less in taxes? Right. So we'll talk about that. There's a lot of benefits being on the business owner side, the investor side. And so, I mean, you're an investor and you've helped many investors, and that's definitely one area to go into. But I think for me, when I was getting into finances, like I think it sounds sexy. I want to get into real estate. There's nothing wrong about real estate. I do want to get into real estate. And I think there's great vehicles out there. But when it comes to actually breaking down the math on what it takes to achieve residual income, where income continues to come in, I thought it was just like, you get in, I don't know, you somehow get a house with not much money, and then you're making tons of money every single month. I didn't know what it actually took. So can you break down some averages on what it might take to even get a real estate investment and what it might yield?
Absolutely. So the funny thing about that is it does sound sexy, and everybody wants to know, how can I get involved with real estate with little money down? Like, and first of all, it's not for the weary, right? It's not for the weak at heart. Sheila's a real estate investor. She's on here. She knows, right? Being a landlord and an investor comes with its own set of issues and responsibilities. But just to even get started, you're looking and you're talking about financial freedom, but let's just start at a reasonable number, James. Like, I like to look at $500 a month, because who here couldn't use another $500 a month, right? $500 a month is a good number. And to make $500 a month, you need about $100,000 cash. And that's going to be in an investment, not where you live, James, not in San Diego, California. You're going to have to go to the Midwest or somewhere like Ohio, Michigan, places like that, in order to get a cash flowing property that's going to generate a profit of $500 month after month, right? So let's not, I don't know if we're ready for the financial freedom number yet, but just to get started, to get some good cash flow coming in, you're talking about $100,000.
Well, let's just do some quick math. Okay, so some of us put 5,000 a month is enough to maybe be financially free. If we just take that equation,
There you go.
and I'll do a quick quiz. 10 times 100,000, put in the chat. How much is that? Some of you are like, no, don't do that right now. Maybe there'll be a prize for the first one. 10 times 100,000. Who's gonna get it? There we go. Pam got it. A lot. Lucy said a lot of money.
Uh-huh. And that's the path I was on, kind of like I was like, okay, we have a retirement savings, we have investments in stock, which we can also talk about. But I had a number of, these are the number of properties, right? Or doors, right? We talk in terms of doors because I have a couple duplexes, right? So I need X number of doors generating $1,000 a month in order to replace my husband's income. Right. And so that's kind of how, and then everything else that we have in our 401ks and in our investments was just gravy. Right. So that's how I used to think of retirement, in terms of how many more doors do I need to have?
Makes sense.
And it's not inexpensive.
Yeah. And this is the problem, I think, for most of us, is that, okay, let's say I know the numbers, $1 million extra dollars to invest. I was in a place where I was living paycheck to paycheck. I was living in a place I was just trying to figure things out. I was in a place when I felt like whenever I get a little bit ahead, Dr. Pia, it's like the car would have an issue and then I'd have to pay for it. Does anyone else feel me on that? It's like, where do all these bills come from? So I know, okay, I know the equation, but it's just very unlikely for most people to go down that path fast. And many times I think most of us realize it's too late. It's like, dang, I should have done this earlier. So that's why we start looking into other ways of earning active income. So there's passive income, which we all want, but how do we bridge that gap? How do we make an extra million or 100,000 or 10,000, whatever that is? And then we look into businesses and different types of avenues to read into, and there's like an infinite amount of ways to be able to make money. But we want to share with you today one vehicle that we believe won't only just be able to make you 500 a month. It can make you a lot more as well too, and it can be passive. And if you want, you can reinvest it and do all of that as well too. So I'll share some details on this, Pia, and then I'm going to ask you some questions on this as well. But that's why when we take a look at this company called Partner Co., this is why when Dr. Pia got started, Dr. Pia, you partnered with this company as a business. When was it? December, January, around there?
December was my first month, December 2023. Yeah,
okay.
Building.
Gotcha. You had just retired from your successful corporate career. You're a VP of finance. Actually, you're multiple roles and all types of things. What made you even say, man, I want to get out there more and I want to be able to expand more business?
Well, first of all, I believe in business ownership. So there's investing and then there's business ownership. I call myself a serial entrepreneur, and I can't help myself when I see a good business opportunity. And because I was a product of the product, I will say I believed in the product and I believe in the mission behind the product. So then when I took a look at the numbers and everything, it just made sense. And I don't know if you know this fun statistic, but 65% of millionaires have at least 3 income sources. So you hear people talking about multiple streams of income, right? The vast majority of them have 3 or more. So 65% have at least 3 forms of income. So for me, it was just like a no-brainer. It's like, okay, well, business ownership is the right side of the cash flow quadrant. So let me look at this from a business perspective.
Makes sense. Okay. So I'm like, well, if I only have my job, I need to find at least one more right there. Yeah, I'll put up the list for sure. So this company, Partner Co., why this as a business vehicle? Well, first, the company itself, it's a company with over 25 years of experience, a lot of history when it comes to the brands that are represented here. We're in 50 plus markets. It's a old soul in a new body. Like it's only a year and a half old. So there's a very big uptick of opportunity. It's 350 million a year, but nobody knows about us. I mean, just think in your neighborhood, anyone, you probably haven't heard about Partner Co. And what makes us different are really the products. Dr. Pia talked about her results on the products. So if you want to find a good business, you want to find something that solves people's problems, And one of our big ones, who here, if you've used these quote unquote skinny drops, put a 1 in the comments below and even share your results if you have that as well too. But they're these body balancing drops that you put them on your tongue 3 times a day, support the thyroid, help the metabolism, curb bad cravings. People can lose 2 times more fat than diet and exercise by itself, balance the hormones, a lot of cool things. And Pia, you had an incredible result with this. Like you shared me this picture, like, I can't believe this is you. What did you experience on the program?
I can't believe that was me either. In Amsterdam, trying to live my best life, and I was a mess.
Wow.
So overweight, so unhealthy, so stressed from my job. I was still working, when that picture was taken. I just was working from Amsterdam because I could. And so, yeah, I was just so unhealthy. I was heavier there than I had been. I have four adult children. And that was the heaviest I've ever been, even when I was pregnant, right, with kids. So that's not a fun place to be at this stage of life, right? And you really want to be at the point where you're retired and you're traveling and you have all this ability and freedom to do it, but your body was like, my body was fighting against me. Not only was it the weight, it was my cholesterol, my blood pressure. I had pain, chronic pain everywhere. So yeah, I was a mess. And I was introduced to the drops by my best friend in the whole wide world, Angie Bloom Hewitt. And diet and exercise wasn't moving the needle for me. I was very disciplined, but once I started with the drops, then the weight just fell off.
Man, I mean, you are living proof. And I love that notion because so many times we sacrifice our health to attain wealth. And then at the end, we start spending our wealth to try to get back that health. But who here would want to be able to have the financial freedom to enjoy life, but also the health to enjoy life as well too, right? So we want to be able to share both of those aspects. So you got the result. Then you took a look at this business. And the business model's very, very simple. Like, how does this work? Well, you partner with the company and all the amazing brands for a one-time, lifetime $30 membership. Grab this slide real quick. So I'm just comparing now. Pia, you talked about owning a piece of real estate for $100,000 or $500 a month of cash flow, which is good. Okay. This is around 30 bucks. You can try some products. You're basically eating your investment. You now have an opportunity to share this around the world and you get hooked up. We give you systems and tools and automations and all the stuff, like an entire franchise. I mean, when you look at this business, Pia, I know you don't look at this as just this, this drop. Like, what do you see this business as?
So for me, it's a global virtual franchise. And I've owned franchises before. I've owned very expensive franchises before, like wine retail stores, wine tasting rooms, to the tune of like hundreds of thousands of dollars of investment. And this is literally a global virtual franchise where you don't have to have any inventory and you have unlimited earning potential, right? And so when you look at it that way, it's not just month after month money coming in. You have the ability to develop residual income, or I like to just call it beach money. We used to call it mailbox money back in the day when we got checks in the mail. I'm that old, right? I'm checks in the mail old.
I got checks. I remember my first check. Yeah.
You guys are direct deposit now, but like Beach Money by Jordan Adler is a great book if you haven't read it. And he talks about being able to make money at the beach, being able to make money at your pool, being able to make money in your sleep. And that's what this business is for me. It is the ability to make money when I am sleeping or otherwise doing other things. So you put in the work to build it, and then the money continues to come in.
Perfect. So let me read off some stats here, guys. Okay. And this is not income claims. This is just Pia's own example. You have to put in the work. You have to put in the effort. You're going to get trained in all that, right? So since December 2023, so it's been what, 7 months, 8 months, she has personally acquired 130 new customers into her business. Okay. 22 new partners, because this is a business where you can scale and you can duplicate. It's not just by yourself, you can do with others. This month, am I reading this right, Pia? This month, you had 55 customers and 5 partners in just this month alone.
Well, technically June 22nd when my next 10 and 2 period started, but yeah. So,
3 weeks.
yeah.
You're saying in the last 3 weeks, you have
Yes.
personally attained 55 customers and 5 partners. Guys, like this is a business where every one of us are going to start at a certain capacity. But Jim Rohn said, you're not a tree, meaning you could get better, right? So Pia, you got better, way better, and boom, that's amazing. This doesn't include repeat subscriptions. And this is what you said. Every month, you've earned at least $500 and actually more than $1,000 now. And you're not even including all of your bonuses. And most of this income right now is still with your effort. You have some teammates now, they're starting to spread out, but you were able to create an extra $500 to $1,000 a month. My gosh.
30 bucks. 30 bucks. I put $90,000 when I bought the one duplex in Ohio, and I've struggled with tenants, like, one good tenant, one bad tenant after the next, to make $500 a month. And you've got insurance and you've got damages, and we need a bug person to come out, and can you send me money for landscaping, right? 500 bucks a month, $30. It's I just need everybody to hear that, because it is somebody just said it is the best $30 you'll ever spend. And I actually think it's laughable that it's only $30. Because I feel like if people had to pay more, they would really value it more. But I don't like to say that or look at it that way, because don't minimize the potential. Because don't minimize the potential. Just because it was $30 and a couple $100 a product does not mean that you cannot generate some serious residual cash flow coming in month after month after month.
So powerful. So don't despise, it's not even small beginnings, but I think so many times, at least I'll just speak on my behalf, I don't have a perspective. Like, I think I'm putting in work, I'm making an extra $100, $200, $500 because my goals are out here. I'm like, man, that's so small. Man, I suck. Man, I can't do this. But it's the proper perspective, because you're not building, this isn't your going in your car and Ubering and just doing a job. This is you're building a business that also, when people love our products, they run out every month and people buy them. Who here, by the way, uses the products and loves the products? Put a me in the comments. Pia's using all of them, right? So if that's the case, one customer, the lifetime value, I mean, imagine, we have stories now, Pia, in this company, people using our products like Noni every month for the last 28 years of their life. Imagine you were able to refer that customer every month. That's mailbox money. Like, that is so cool. Okay, awesome. What else on these topics here? Like, my mind's already reblown now.
Well, I think we just need to think of it as, for everybody that's here, whether you're currently a brand partner or you're thinking about becoming a brand partner, and just allow yourself, like James said, to reframe your mind and really think about this. Think about the potential, the unlimited earning potential. And guys, I'm not a salesperson. I'm a numbers geek that likes to be on the computer and doing spreadsheets. Like, I am not like, you think I'm fun and, I have a good time dancing like a nerd, but I really am not a salesperson, right? I took this product. I believe in this product. I share this product. I follow the system. I follow the system. The reason I have 55, customers in July since June 22nd is because I simply followed the system. I didn't overthink it. I kind of thought some of it was weird, but I didn't overanalyze it. I didn't come into it and say, well, I'm a finance MBA and I am a doctor and I'm going to redo this and do it my way. I didn't. I followed the system as it was laid out, and it worked. It just worked. It popped. And, my Instagram reels took off. We do a lot of social selling. I'm thankful for that, because I travel, right? I'm back and forth all over the place. And I'm not always in one place to be able to build a business in one city. I love that we're global. I love that I can do this from my phone anywhere that I am. So I get super excited by the fact that you just follow the system. So if I can do it, you can do it, because it didn't take finance. It didn't take my knowledge of wealth building. It didn't take $100,000. It didn't take you having connections, right? Knowing the right people or getting in the right circles. It didn't take me having, the inside scoop. It took me paying $30, getting on the boards. Boards is the system that we use to teach and follow the system, and launching my business on Facebook and then on Instagram, and doing what I was told, which is acquire at least 10 customers and 2 brand partners every month. And when I started building, that's what I did every single month, because that's what I was told to do. So I just literally did what I was told.
You're just coachable.
I don't even like getting congratulations, because I'm like, I'm just doing what I was told. I'm just copying the system.
You bring this up, doing what you're told. Who here would consider yourself you're pretty coachable? Put a me in the comments if you're kind of coachable. I said that to myself, but to be honest, Pia, when I first got introduced to this business model, I was super skeptical. I fought tooth and nail. I thought I was too smart for this, to be honest. I thought I could do it my own way. And what was so crazy is I look back now, I'm like, but I was so coachable with what society sold me on the plan. They just told me, go to school, study hard, be a doctor. I graduated from UC Berkeley. I followed that plan. That's like almost a 100 grand type of plan. And it was like, I was so coachable on that, and nothing against education, but that's not a guaranteed income. Neither is business, by the way. But here you do have a guarantee that you'll have the tools and the systems and the frameworks to take your $30 and turn it into something way more. What if we actually took the same coachability that we had with what society sold us to what Dr. Pia is sharing with us here today? I think we'd all be so successful. Oh my gosh, I'm getting goosebumps everywhere, because I think this drops some scales for people. So Pia, last thing would be this. And you evaluate all types of opportunities. You've done many businesses, you've owned them, right? You were talking to someone that's done stuff. It's not she's just seen it, she's done it. And you've helped other people do many things too. Out of everything else that's out there, if our goal is to make an extra $500 a month from now in the next 90 days, why do you choose Partner Co as your business vehicle to do that rather than anything else?
The reason why I choose Partner Co rather than anything else is because there's so many reasons, but I think when it really comes down to it, it's hands down the best type of company, right? Like, I truly believe in network marketing, multi-level marketing. It's the smartest business. It's a good business from a tax perspective. It's a good business from an incentive. We all want each other to do well, right? Like, you want your team members to do well. You're not taking advantage of them, right? So it's the best type of business, combined with the best system, combined with the best compensation plan and the best leadership and the best products. I mean, like, I don't know how I could get any better, right? Like, I truly believe that, third-party certifications and, clinical trials and results over millions of bottles of Skinny Drops sold. Like, I believe in these products wholeheartedly, that I am putting my name and my reputation behind it 100%. So there's a lot of reasons why Partner Co, but it really does boil down to, guys, we are like, when are you going to have the opportunity to be at the beginning of something? Yes, the drops have been around for a while. Like you said, it's a company with an old soul, but it's got a new body, right? Like, it's got a new ownership. It's got a new spirit behind it, a new system, the automations, technology, social media. Like, where we are right now is the best time. Imagine where Angie always says, imagine if you were at the beginning and you were investing in Google or Apple, or, getting involved with one of the other big multi-level marketing companies. Everybody's like, oh, ground floor, ground floor. You don't want to be ground floor. Like you don't want to be ground floor. Trust, you don't want to be ground floor because there's too many growing pains. But when you have a proven product, and then the system is also proven, but it's still not viral yet, it's still not it's not hyper growth yet, you have nothing but opportunity, guys. Nothing but opportunity. Like the sky's the limit.
Well said. So guys, if you see the potential what's going on right now, I'm telling you, the next 2 to 3 months, it's growing nuts. I just got off a call with all the North American leaders. We're seeing record-breaking sales everywhere. We're seeing every single month the numbers go higher and higher and higher and higher. But just like what Dr. Pia said, it's not viral yet. Just think about in your neighborhood, who in your neighborhood has not even heard about this yet? Probably not many, right? I know my neighborhood, really not many. I haven't been doing my job well, so. But this is that opportunity.
James, you're global. You're global.
Okay. All right. Thanks. Woo, thanks. So it's so simple, guys. So if you've been serious about building wealth and financial freedom and residual, and you want to retire early, you want to help your family, you want to be able to go on the vacations you want to go on, you have to do something different. A job's not going to cut it. You have to find something. And you heard from Dr. Pia today how this can be the most powerful vehicle. So what do you do? You're into, go back with your friend right after this that connect you to this, get your membership, grab some product. Let's get you hooked up in the training. Remember, you're in business for yourself and not by yourself. And I guess the last thing I'd say is this is, out of all those other reasons, what I like about this, Pia? It's just fun. It's just fun.
Yeah. I mean, you get to do this with people you like, and you get to have a good time while you're doing it.
Exactly, right? I like computers too, but it can get lonely. But here we're around really positive people, and I can't believe it's a business. So other than that, Dr. Pia, thank you for your expertise. Congratulations on all of your success. And man, there's so much coming in the very, very near future as well too. Everyone here, get back with whoever connected you. Feel free to unmute yourself and